Welcome back to another video. So today I'll be doing a small coding challenge in which I answer a little question in the form of code. So I'm using Java, and so enjoy. So I've seen this question and I would try to do it. This question is supposedly a lot of interviewers ask this, and so this is the question. This is what it is. So I got one array of numbers and a second number, which is a target number. And I have to make a method that determines if a pair of numbers or integers in that array equal to k. And they gave an example here, 137, and if the target is 8, then there is a pair which is 7 and 1, and that means I'll have to return yes. And if k is 6, which is like a target, and they give an array as 1, 3, and 7, that array, it will be false or something. I will have to return no. And so that is the question. So yeah, so I'm gonna write a method. So I kind of write a method, public static string, but I'll just do boolean because I just want it to be a simple true or false. So toSum, and the method would take an input, the array of integers, and the k, which is the target number, in which any pair of numbers inside the array must be equal to the constant, or else it will be false. Okay. Alright, so let me try to attempt this code. So I think I'll have to do a nested for loop, because you want to first, my idea was to try to loop, take the first number as the first term in the toSum, and the second term in loop, to see if a second term, other number, if I would add the first and the other number, it will equal the constant. So I'll try to do it. Okay. So I'll try a for loop, outer loop, int I equals 0. I'm not sure, yeah. I is less than n dot length in a loop until it's the length of the array, and increment by 1 every time. So this loop will use the first value as the first term, and then the second value, and then the third value, and so on in that array up until the length of the array. And what I'm trying to do is that each iteration of that loop, it will take this term. For instance, just using this array as that example, and then using this term, and then using that term, and so on. I'm gonna try to do I think I'll do one if statement here. Because if I loop, because I'm trying to explain something which only adds the second and third value, looks at the second and third value of that array or something. Let me see. just gonna write a simple if statement. I'm trying to explain afterwards. So if n dot I, if I is 0, equals 0. I'm just gonna loop just the second and third. For instance, anything outside, anything besides the first number of that array, so that means the 0th index. So I'm gonna do like a one for loop. I'll just do J because I already used I. Okay, J is less than n dot length. And if ever and then we're going to write like another if statement. If ever n dot I, if ever this, the first value, add to is added to like any other number, like if it finds a pair of that array that is equal to k, it will return true. Okay, J is equivalent to k, then return true. Okay. And now if once it scans, this code happens if the first term it's scanning in the outer for loop, it's this one. If the outer loop, scans the first one as the first term, it's going to execute this code inside this if statement. I'm going to do the same thing for the last one, so it won't double count it. All right. If I is equivalent to nth dot length minus 1, so like the last index, I'm just going to loop all of the other numbers, other indices besides the last one. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I had made a mistake somewhere, so I forgot to add in an increment for J in the inner for loop. Basically, the inner for loop loops through, try to find the second term for a number that's aside from the first term. Okay. So yeah, and I'm going to do the same thing for the last one for the if statement. So I only have to one for loop. Any other terms, first terms that are chosen in the outer loop, we'll have to do 2 for loops, one before the first term scanned and one after, one more for loop for the array indices after the one that's being scanned. So yeah, so I'm gonna just try to copy this because it's just any other number that's before the last term. Minus 2. I'm gonna try this out just to see. Just do an if and else here instead, in which I do 2 for loops. Okay, so the first for loop will be all choosing the terms before the first term that's scanned. Okay, start out up until I or something. And then from I in the second for loop, I plus 1 to n minus 1. Okay, so I'm back. So I'm just trying to fix some errors, and I think I'll just try to test it now. And then if I see any errors, I'll try to fix them. So yeah. So I'm gonna declare an array just for testing purposes. So yeah, int test array equals new int. It'll be 1, 3, and 7. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna print out a boolean to see if it works. If it's true, that will mean that any pair of numbers inside the array that are not in the same index will be equal to k if it's true. Okay, so to sum, just call this function test array, and let's try 8. Okay, moment of truth in everyone. True. Okay, good. Let's see if I find something. If I put 6 here, let's try it. False. Okay, good. So that means that my method's kind of working for these cases, and I'm gonna try to expand it further. Let's try an array of 2 numbers only. And I'll try 5 for the first term and 10 for the second term. I'll try 15. If I try 15, it should be true. Yes, and that will work, yeah. If I try 12, nothing. False. Okay. Let me try an array with 10 elements. 2, 11, 4, 25, 24, 5, 0, minus 5, 8, 2, 8. 9 elements. Need one more at 10. I'll try 12. So this should add up to 12. It should be true. Yeah. Okay. Let's try something that is absolutely false. Just try one more a few more test cases. Back in school, I had to do a test case table where I have to test every possible case, which is pretty annoying, but it's part of programming because any other loopholes or other cases which can cause a bug in the code might happen. That's why we had to do like a test case table. Let's try 100. it is false. Okay. And try -3. Try -3 because -5 and 2 are a pair that add to -3. Okay. True. And one more value. Let's try -6. Okay. No other numbers are negative besides -5. If I play this, if I run this, it is false. So I guess for the most part I am pretty confident that this is the code. It's not the most optimal code because I'm kind of new to programming. There's a lot of for loops in here, so that is pretty complex, and I'm pretty sure there are other ways to solve this question. And yeah, so that's it for this video. This time I kind of did like more of an indoor soft spoken voice rather than whispering to see if this gave you some more tingles. I should have done more like hand movements, but I was so focused on writing the code and typing it out. It's pretty hard to do multiple things at once, writing code, figuring things out while trying to give you the most tingles as possible. And yeah, so I guess I kind of successfully did this question, and this kind of wraps up this video. If you did like this video and gave you the tingles, drop a like. If you want to see more ASMR-fied content, dream videos or coding videos, maybe gaming videos, who knows, drop a subscribe and turn on bell. So, peace out.